Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Isha Bashir and I'm from Group 7. The topic I've been assigned to present is clean water and sanitation, and my group members are Atika Mazhar and Arush Fatma. So let's get started. Clean water and sanitation is basically an SDG that stands for Sustainable Development Goal. The term was first coined in 2015 and was then adopted by United Nations. This development agenda is aimed to be achieved by year 2030. These are set of global goals that needs to be achieved collectively by the cooperation of all member countries, those who are member of United Nations, and all stakeholders. SDGs are basically successors to MDGs and were set to carry the momentum generated by the MDGs in times before 2015 and constitutes the core for Agenda 2030 of Sustainable Development. Okay, now let me tell you about what's the MDG. That's actually Millennium Development Goal for Sustainability. This term, sustainability, is a red hot topic lately, and there's a lot of work and effort being put to achieve it first through MDGs and now through SDGs. MDGs were not much successful due to their subjective nature. That's why in 2015 the term SDG was coined. The term SDG, that's a very broad phenomena and inculcates almost 17 goals, out of which I'm going to talk about SDG 6, that's clean water and sanitation. So now I'm going to make you all stroll through role of SDG 6 in development. It helps to achieve core value of development, that is sustenance and freedom from servitude. There's a logic behind the freedom from servitude which I'll discuss later in this presentation. The next is enable individual to improve his capability. That's definitely through better health conditions. Then human flourishing increases. This adds up health alongside education and non-materialistic needs. So health improves human flourishing. Then comes allow the metric of human health index of human development index. So that's a measure for humanistic development. Then comes it improves the living standards and self-esteem. That's actually through proper channel. I mean, with good health comes more labor hours, so more income is yielded, and with that comes more self-esteem. So here's an elaborated view of SDG 6 targets and indicators. We are talking about 2030 here because that's the deadline for development agenda to be achieved. So let's start from target 1, that is by 2030 achieve universal and equitable access to safe and affordable drinking water for all. And for this target we have indicator, that is proportion of population using safely managed drinking water and services. And then the second target is by 2030 achieve access to adequate and equitable sanitation and hygiene for all and end open defecation, paying special attention to the needs of women and girls and those in the vulnerable situation. And for this target we again have two indicators. Then the third target is by 2030 improve water quality by reducing pollution, elimination dumping and minimizing release of hazardous chemical and materials, halving the proportion of untreated wastewater, and substantially increasing recycling and safe reuse globally. And for this target we again have two indicators, and the next target is by 2030 substantially increase water use efficiency across all the sectors and ensure sustainable withdrawals and supply of fresh water to address water scarcity and substantially reduce the number of people suffering from water scarcity. Then again we have indicate two indicators for this target. The next indicator is by 2030 implement integrated water resource management at all level including through transboundaries cooperation as appropriate. And the next target is by 2020 protect and restore water related ecosystem including mountains, forest, wetland, rivers, aquifers and lakes. Okay, so these were all the targets, and we have indicators for them. Now discuss them in context of Pakistan, that how much has been achieved by Pakistan and through which indicators Pakistan has achieved those targets under SDG 6. Okay, so now I'm going to explain the performance of Pakistan throughout the years about those targets through these graphs. Okay, so first target was equitable access to safe and affordable drinking water, and the indicator this was providing the provision of safely drinking water. So now check the first graph out. From 2000 to 2010, safely drinking water was available to 37% population, but from 2011 to 2016, it has decreased to 36%, followed by 35% from 2017 to 2020. So that shows a negatively sloped graph that has been sloping downwardly throughout the years at a slow pace, but the provision rate is really horrible. So the second target is ending open defecation and hygiene providence, and its indicator is access to hygiene. So from 2007 to 2011, 51% had access to hygiene, increased to 58% from 2012 to 2014. Then from 2017 to 2020, it's 80%. So that means that's going far better than the previous one. The next target is improve water quality and wastewater treatment. So unfortunately, the data for this for the indicator of this target wasn't available on WDI or UNDP. So let's discuss the next target, that is water use efficiency and ensure fresh water supplies. The relative change in this is change. So the next target is water use efficiency and ensure fresh water supplies. The indicator to this target is relative change in level of water stress. So the relative change from 1977 to 2017 is 30%, which is between medium to high. That can be shown from this graph above the block. You can see a positive trend in this graph. And now let's come towards the next target, that is implement integrated water resource management, and the indicator of this target is integrated water management. The relative change in integrated water management is 12%, which you can see in the graph. That's the data from 2017 to 2020 that was available on WDI and UNDP, and the data before 2017 wasn't available there, so I'm unable to interpret that data too. So now check the performance of Pakistan for the target protect and restore water related ecosystem. The indicator of this target is protection and restoration water related ecosystem. The data for this indicator is cross section, and in the graph above you can see the data for different countries, that is from Bangladesh, Indonesia, Pakistan, France, Saudi Arabia. So protect and restore water related ecosystem. The cross section data for this indicator tells that only 5.54% is the protection rate of water related ecosystem in Pakistan. That's a really small amount for a country like Pakistan who is facing severe water stress. And the next target is transboundary water cooperation, including through transboundary cooperation as appropriate. The data for this indicator isn't also available on UNDP, so I won't be able to interpret this. Here's another variable for which data isn't provided on the sources, so ignore it too. So let's jump to the last target of the SDG 6, that is clean water and sanitation. The target is expand water and sanitation support to developing countries, and the indicator of this is amount of water and sanitation related official development assistance. Okay, so the report for this is the relative change between amount of water and sanitation related official development assistance, that is a part of government coordinated spending plan. The value for from 2000 to 2020 is 1056%. That can be seen from the graph, where the data is from 2000 to 2019, that is the 20 years data, and that shows a huge increase from $50 million to $300 million for this water and sanitation related official assistance. So that was the performance of Pakistan regarding SDG 6. Now let's discuss the projects of SDG 6 in Pakistan. So on aggregate level, we have basically three projects working on SDG 6, that is Diya Pakistan, Australia Pakistan Water Security Initiative, and then multi-stakeholders efforts. That means those who are working in this context. So Diya Pakistan inculcates other SDGs too, that is 4, 6, 5, 16, and 3. And Australia Pakistan Water Security Initiative that was started in 2021, and then that is expected to be completed by 2025. And the beneficiaries of this project are going to be the residents of Twin Cities, And then comes multi-stakeholder effort. So that it has socio-ecological landscape resilience in Pakistan, and in the area of delta in Indus area especially. It was started in 2017 and got completed in 2022, but unfortunately we are unable to get access over the data of the performance over this. Now let's move towards the conclusion, the final part of the presentation. So, concludingly, I must say that Pakistan by 2030 requires us to invest in adequate infrastructure, conserve water, control water pollution, provide sanitation facilities, and encourage hygiene. One needs to keep in mind that the quality of water that is commonly consumed defines the quality of our life, and that is quality, and that quality shows the development. Okay, that's it from our side.